See, is this screen is visible for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me what we have discussed in the last class.
Optical fiber.
Yes,
Application.
we have discussed about optical fiber. Tell me, what are the parts of the optical fiber?
Propagation of
Core
core.
cladding.
Very good. See the parts of the optical fiber. It is like this. I repeat it again. I will explain it in brief. Okay. So optical fiber, it is a concentric cylindrical structure. It is like this. So the innermost part of the optical fiber is what we call it as core. And this core, it is surrounded by one more cylindrical structure. This is what we called it as cladding. And this core and cladding both are surrounded by one more cylindrical structure. This is what we called it as plastic sheathing. Plastic sheathing. These are the three layers of the optical fiber. It is a concentric cylindrical structure and it is also a coaxial. Coaxial, it is nothing but it is all the three layers, they have same axis. That is why it is called as coaxial. Okay, see, it is a thin, flexible, made up of a transparent dielectric material which is able to guide visible and infrared light over a long distance. Okay, so that is the definition of the optical fiber. Okay, here both core and cladding, they are made up of same type of material. It is a dielectric material. It is a dielectric material. It may be made up of glass or sometimes it may be made up of plastic. So both are dielectric material. So based on the application, the different types of optical fibers are used, which are made up of glass or which are made up of plastic. Okay, both core and cladding made up of same type of material, but the refractive indexes change. So N1 is the refractive index of core, N2 is the refractive index of cladding. N1 is always greater than N2. That is refractive index of core, it is always greater than the refractive index of cladding. Okay, and the job of the cladding or the function of the cladding, it is always confine the light into the core of the optical fiber, and this plastic sheathing which is always protect the core and cladding from the physical and chemical damages. So that is a function of the plastic sheathing. Okay, and the light, it is always passes through the core part of the optical fiber. It will not passes through the cladding of the optical fiber. Okay, so there are some cases are there which I will discuss in the later class. Sometimes the light, it also passes through the cladding part of the optical fiber. I will discuss it later. So these are all the things which I have discussed in the last class. And the propagation of the light, it is takes place inside the optical fiber. It is like this. So this is core. And that is cladding. Sorry, this is core. This one is cladding. Tell me, by what principle the light propagates inside the optical fiber?
Total internal reflection.
Total internal reflection. Tell me, what are the conditions for total internal reflection?
When a light travels from denser medium to rarer medium,
very good.
There is a critical angle. After that, the light undergoes refractions.
Very good.
Reflect.
See, the conditions for the total internal reflection, it is like this. The light should travel from the denser medium to rarer medium. That is, the refractive index of denser should always be greater than the refractive index of cladding. And one more thing, the angle of incidence, it should be greater than the critical angle. So when these two conditions are satisfied, then only the light undergoes total internal reflection. Okay, assume that this is the core, this is the core, and that is the cladding. Okay, assume that a light ray passes through the, it passes into the core part of the optical fiber. Okay, you see here, when it is incident on this interface in between the core and cladding, here the angle of incidence, it is greater than the critical angle, and also the refractive index of core N1 and refractive index of cladding, that is N1 is greater than N2. So here both the conditions are satisfied. N1 is greater than N2 and theta is greater than theta C. Therefore, it undergoes the total internal reflection and it will incident in the interface, on the interface which is opposite to the previous one. Okay, so here also the angle of incidence, it is greater than the critical angle and N1 is also greater than the N2. So therefore it undergoes the total internal reflection. And in this point also, at this point also, theta is greater than the theta C. So it undergoes total internal reflection. So therefore the light, it undergoes total internal reflection until these two conditions are satisfied. If one of these two conditions are not satisfied, then the light, it will not undergo total internal reflection. It will simply passes through the cladding part of the optical fiber. Have you understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so therefore it reaches to another end. It travels from the one end of the optical fiber to another end of the optical fiber by the principle of total internal reflection. These are all the things which I have discussed in the last class. So in today's class, I'm going to discuss about numerical aperture, numerical aperture, and acceptance angle. See, this is a very important topic as for your examination point of view. Definitely, this question will be asked in your main examination from this chapter. Okay. See, I will define it later. Okay. So before going to define what is acceptance angle and numerical aperture, let me discuss some basics regarding this. Okay. You consider an optical fiber. So this is the core part of the optical fiber. So this is core. And this core, it is surrounded by cladding. So this is cladding. N1 is the refractive index of core. N2 is the refractive index of cladding. Tell me, what is refractive index? What is refractive index?
Speed of light by velocity of light, sir.
Very good. It is a speed of light divided by velocity of the light in the medium. Okay, the refractive index, it indicates that how fast the light travels inside the medium. And this velocity, it is different for different medium. It is different for gaseous medium, it is different for liquid, and it is different for solid. So based on this velocity, the refractive index, it is decided. Okay, so therefore here N1 is the refractive index of core, N2 is the refractive index of cladding. So it is a dielectric material. Okay, assume that this is the imaginary axis of the optical fiber. It is an imaginary axis. Okay, and I had already told you the dimension of this core and cladding part in the last class. The dimension of the core part, it varies from 8 micrometer to 62.5 micrometer. Just imagine how small it is. It is very, very small. Okay, and this optical fiber, it is surrounded by a medium. Okay, that medium, it may be air or it may be water. Okay, N naught is the refractive index of the surrounding medium. Refractive index of surrounding medium. Okay, so this surrounding medium, it may be air or it may be water or it may be any other medium. Okay, consider a ray. It is traveling from the surrounding medium into the core medium of the core part of the optical fiber. Here the angle of incidence is theta naught. Okay, consider a ray which is emitted from a source. It is traveling from a surrounding medium to the core part of the optical fiber whose angle of incidence is theta naught. Okay, so it is traveling from one medium to another medium, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Say yes or no. Are you getting
Yes,
my
sir.
point? What I am saying?
Yes, sir.
You see here, the ray, it is traveling from the surrounding medium to the core part of the optical fiber. The surrounding medium, it is different, and the core part, it is different. Therefore, it undergoes refraction and it is incident on the interface in between the core part and the cladding part. Have you understood this?
Yes,
The
sir.
angle of refraction, it is theta 1. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Assume that there is a normal, it is an imaginary normal which is drawn to the interface in between core and cladding. So this angle is 90°, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so therefore this angle will be if this angle is 90°, obviously this angle is 90 minus theta 1. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
So this is 90 minus theta 1. Okay, so therefore, whenever a light ray, when it is passes from the surrounding medium into the core part of the optical fiber, it will incident on the interface in between core and cladding at an angle 90 minus theta 1, and which will grazes the interface in between core and cladding whose angle of refraction it is 90°. Okay. Understood?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, this particular angle of incidence theta naught is what we call it as critical angle. Critical angle. Okay. So critical angle is that angle of incidence. For that angle of incidence, the angle of refraction it is 90° at the interface in between core and cladding. That angle is what we call it as critical angle. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
What about others? What about others? Why are you not replying? What about others?
Understood, sir.
Understood, sir.
What, Ashrita? Ashrita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Then why are you not replying me? Have you understood the topic?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So critical angle is that particular angle of incidence for which the angle of refraction it is 90 degree at the interface in between the core and cladding. That particular angle of incidence is what we call it as critical angle. Okay. You see here, if you rotate this critical angle to 360 degree about this axis, what will you get? You will get a cone, right? You will get a cone. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
You see here. Can you able to see this pen?
Yes, sir.
See, if this is the critical angle, if you rotate this critical angle into 360 degree like this, so you will get a cone, like.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
therefore, this cone is what we called it as acceptance cone. This cone is what we called it as acceptance cone. Okay. Assume that a ray, it falls in the acceptance cone. Here, the angle of incidence, you can call it as theta I, the angle of incidence which is less than the theta naught. So therefore, it undergoes a refraction, but here the angle of incidence, it is greater than the critical angle. That is, it is greater than this 90 minus theta 1. So therefore, it undergoes total internal reflection. Are you getting my point, what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So here, whenever this angle of incidence, when it is less than the critical angle, here the light ray, it will falls on the interface in between the core and cladding. Here the angle of incidence, it is greater than the critical angle. So therefore it undergoes the total internal reflection. And here also the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. Therefore it undergoes the total internal reflection. And likewise the light ray propagates inside the optical fiber. Okay.
Sir, once again, sir.
Okay, you see here. Assume that core cladding and this is the axis. Okay, this is the angle of incidence. Okay, whose angle of incidence is theta naught. See, for particular angle of incidence, the light ray it will grazes the interface in between the core and cladding. So this particular angle of incidence is what we call it as critical angle. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, assume that I will send one more ray. And here the angle of incidence, this theta I, which is less than the theta naught. Theta I, which is less than theta naught. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So therefore, this ray, it undergoes refraction and it is incident on the interface in between the core and cladding. See here, this is critical angle, but here the angle of incidence, it is greater than the critical angle. Therefore, it undergoes the total internal reflection. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now you come to the point. I told you already, if you rotate this critical angle to 360 degree about this axis, there you will get a cone. This cone is what we call it as acceptance cone. Okay, so therefore any ray If it falls inside the acceptance cone, it undergoes the total internal reflection. If a ray, if it is falls outside the acceptance cone, it will not undergoes the total internal reflection. It will simply passes through the cladding part of the optical fiber. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, the name itself indicates that. See here, this name, the acceptance cone, the name itself indicates that any ray, if it falls inside the acceptance cone, that is nothing but the optical fiber, it accepts that ray if it is falls inside the acceptance cone. If it is falls out of the acceptance cone, it will not undergo total internal reflection. It will simply passes through the cladding part of the optical fiber. Understood?
Sir, once again, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ashrita, where you did not understand the topic, tell me which topic I need to. What?
That last one, sir, you said if that the light passes away outside somewhat.
Okay. You see here. See, just now I told you that. Assume that this is the theta naught is the critical angle. If the any ray, if it is falls inside the acceptance cone and whose angle of incidence is less than the critical angle. Yes or no? Ashrita?
Yes, sir.
If it is falls inside the acceptance cone whose angle of incidence is less than the critical angle.
Yes, sir.
If it is falls inside the acceptance cone, it undergoes refraction. Here at the interface, the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle.
Okay, sir.
To undergo total internal reflection, the angle of incidence should be greater than critical angle, right?
Yes, sir.
See, whenever the light ray, when it is falls inside the acceptance cone, here the angle of incidence is less than the critical angle. But at the interface, the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle.
Okay, sir.
So here it is less than the. Here it is less than the acceptance angle. Here it is less than the acceptance angle. Here it is greater than the critical angle. That's why it undergoes the total internal reflection. But if a ray, if it is falls outside the acceptance cone, here the angle of incidence is greater than the acceptance angle. So if it is greater than the acceptance angle, but inside the core, it will become less than the critical angle. Therefore, it will not undergo total internal reflection. Understood now?
Okay, sir. Understood, sir.
Okay. You see here, one thing you have to remember that when angle of incidence outside the optical fiber, I'm talking, when the angle of incidence, when it is less than the acceptance angle, it will become angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle inside the core. Okay, then only it undergoes the total internal reflection. If the angle of incidence is greater than the acceptance angle, then angle of incidence inside the core, it is less than the critical angle. Therefore, it will not undergo total internal reflection, and this will undergo total internal reflection. Have you understood this? Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So here theta naught is the acceptance angle, theta c is the critical angle. Don't get confused with that. Now you come to the point. See, so we have discussed about acceptance angle. That is, for particular angle of incidence, the angle of refraction is 90 degree at the interface in between core and cladding. That particular angle of incidence is what we call it as acceptance angle. Numerical aperture, it is nothing but sine of acceptance angle is what we call it as numerical aperture. Okay, mathematically it is expressed as sine of acceptance angle, but the meaning of the numerical aperture is it is a light gathering ability of an optical fiber. Okay, numerical aperture, it is nothing but it's a light gathering ability of an optical fiber. Let me show you that. Assume that this is the core part of one optical fiber. So this is the core part of the another optical fiber. There are three different types of optical fibers are there. I will explain it later. Okay. Okay, consider this is the optical fiber 1 and this is the optical fiber 2. Okay, you see here, you observe these two figures. In the figure 1, in the optical fiber 1, only less amount of light it is gathered inside the optical fiber. But in the figure 2, the more amount of light it is gathered inside the optical fiber. So therefore, the numerical aperture of the figure 2, it is greater than the numerical aperture of the figure 1. Okay, therefore, the numerical aperture represents the light gathering ability of an optical fiber. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What about others? Have you understood this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so mathematically, numerical aperture, it is nothing but it is sign of acceptance angle. But the physical meaning is numerical aperture, it is nothing but the light gathering ability of an optical fiber is what we call it as the numerical aperture. Okay, now I'm going to derive an expression for the numerical aperture now. Okay. See here. Okay, so I had already explained you about this figure. Now I'm going to derive an expression for this numerical aperture. Okay, applying. So consider a ray PQ. It is traveling from surrounding medium whose refractive index is N0 to the core part of the optical fiber whose refractive index is N1, and this is cladding whose refractive index is N2. Theta naught is the acceptance angle. Theta 1 is the angle of refraction, and 90 minus theta 1 is the angle of incidence at the interface in between the core and cladding of the ray RS. Okay, applying Snell's law for the ray PQ. Okay, so consider, so here a ray, it is traveling from surrounding medium to the core part of the optical fiber, right?
Yes, sir.
So therefore, so what is Snell's law? Expression for Snell's law?
Sin I by sin R equal to N2 by N1.
N2 divided by N1, right?
Sir.
Okay, so here our N2 is core, N1 is
N1, sir.
so N2 is core, and n1 is the surrounding medium. So I will write like this: n naught, that is sine theta naught, it is the angle of incidence, divided by sine theta 1, which is equal to n1 divided by n1 divided by n naught. Can we write like this?
Yes, sir.
Can we write like this?
Yes,
Theta
sir.
naught is the angle of incidence, theta 1 is the angle of refraction, n1 is the refractive index of core, n naught is the refractive index of the surrounding medium. So therefore this can be written as n naught into sine theta naught, which is equal to n1 into sine theta 1. You call this as equation number 1. Next, applying Snell's law for ray QR. Okay, for this ray I am applying, for this ray Q ray. Here the angle of incidence is theta 1. The angle of refraction, it is theta naught, 90 minus theta naught. Sorry, angle of incidence it is, sorry. The angle of incidence, it is 90 minus theta naught. The angle of refraction, it is 90 degree. So this can be written as n1 sine 90 minus theta 1, which is equal to n2 into sine 90. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
See, I am applying the Snell's law to the ray QR. Here the angle of incidence, it is 90 minus theta 1, and the angle of refraction, it is 90. So this can be written as, so sine 90 minus theta 1 can be written as cos theta 1, which is equal to n2 divided by n1. Sine 90 is 1, and you call this as equation number 2. From equation 1, we can write, can we write like this from equation 1? Sine theta naught, which is equal to n1 divided by n naught into sine theta 1. I have rearranged this equation number 1. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have just rearranged the equation number 1. So therefore this can be written as n1 divided by n naught into square root of 1 minus cos square theta 1. Can we write like this?
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Because sine square theta plus cos square theta, which is equal to 1. So in the place of sine theta, I have written there as square root of 1 minus cos square theta 1. Therefore, n1 divided by n naught. So in the place of cos theta 1, I will substitute this equation number 2. So in the place of cos square theta 1, I will substitute this equation number 2. So this can be 1 minus n2 divided by n1 whole square. This can be written as n1 divided by n naught into square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. Yes, who is that?
Sir.
This is n1.
Sir, n1 square no.
Wait. It is n1 square. Okay. So, okay, can we write like this? n1 divided by n naught into square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n1. Can we write like this? I
Yes,
have
sir.
taken
N1.
this n1 square out of the square root. So therefore, n1 get cancelled here. So finally, we're left with square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. It is sine of theta naught. Okay, so this is the expression for numerical aperture. As I told you already, numerical aperture, it is mathematically it can be expressed as sine of acceptance angle. Theta naught is the acceptance angle, which is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. Tell me what is n1 here?
Refractive index of 4.
What is n2 here?
Refractive index of cladding.
What is n naught here? What is n naught?
Refractive index of surrounding.
Very good. The refractive index of the surrounding medium. Okay, for air medium, the refractive index is 1. So therefore, the numerical aperture, which is equal to sine theta naught, which is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square. Okay, so that is the numerical aperture of an optical fiber when it is kept in the air medium. Okay, but if it is kept in the water medium, then you have to substitute that value n naught here. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
See this numerical aperture and this, and you can also write like this: theta naught is equal to sine inverse of square root of n1 square minus n2 square. By using this expression, you can determine the acceptance angle. By using this expression, you can determine that is numerical aperture, which is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. Using this expression, you can find out the numerical aperture. Using this expression, you can find out the acceptance angle. Understood?
Sir.
You see here both the numerical aperture. The numerical aperture, it completely depends upon the refractive index of core. It also depends upon the numerical aperture of the cladding. It also depends upon the numerical aperture of, it also depends upon the refractive index of the surrounding medium. Here also the acceptance angle also, it also depends upon the refractive index of the core, the refractive index of the cladding. By using these expression, you can find out the acceptance angle, you can find out the numerical aperture. Understood?
Yes, sir.
See, this derivation is very, very important as per your examination point of view. First, you have to write the figure. Next, you have to describe the figure and you have to discuss all these things. Tell me what is numerical aperture? What is numerical aperture?
Light gathering ability of optical fiber, sir.
Very good. The light gathering ability of an optical fiber is what we call it as numerical aperture, or sine of acceptance angle. Okay. Tell me what is acceptance angle? What is acceptance angle? See, for that particular angle of incidence, the angle of refraction, it is 90 degree at the interface in between core and cladding. That particular angle of incidence is what we call it as acceptance angle. Okay. If you rotate the acceptance angle in 360 degree around the axis, so there you will get cone. Any ray, it falls inside the acceptance cone. It undergoes the total internal reflection. Have you understood this?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Do you have any doubts regarding this derivation or the topic?
No, sir.
Shall we discuss one problem now based on this numerical aperture and acceptance angle?
Okay.
You take this problem.
Sir.
The refractive indices of core and cladding are 1.50 and 1.48. See, it doesn't have any units. Why? The refractive index, it doesn't have any units. Why?
Sir, because the unit will be cancelled, sir.
That is why. Okay. So the refractive index of core is 1.50. The refractive index of cladding is 1.58 respectively. In an optical fiber. In an optical fiber, find numerical aperture and acceptance angle. Of acceptance angle. Okay, do it. So we have this expression with us for numerical aperture. Sine theta naught. Numerical aperture which is equal to sine theta naught, which is equal to square root of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. And for acceptance angle is theta naught is equal to sine inverse of n1 square minus n2 square divided by n naught. Use this formula and find out the numerical aperture and the acceptance angle. Is the given data is sufficient for the calculation?
Sir, N naught.
Yes, he has not given n naught. If he has not given n naught in the problem, just assume that the optical fiber it is kept in the air. So therefore the refractive index for the air medium, refractive index for air is n naught is equal to 1. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. See, if he has not given n naught in the problem, you assume that the surrounding medium it is air, and you take that n naught equal to 1 for that. Okay. Now you do it.
Sir, acceptance angle is 14.12 degrees.
Very good. What is the numerical aperture? How much you got for that?
.244.
Very good. It is 0.244 and theta naught it is 14.13 degree. All of you got this answer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll stop the class here. I will continue in the next class and I will send you the notes in the afternoon time. Okay. So I'll stop here. I will continue in the next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Take care, all of you. Bye. So
Thank you,
next
sir.
class will be
Bye.
continued. Next class will be continued. Don't go anywhere.
ತಗೊಂಡು ಬರ್ಲಿ